That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 31 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. And it is indeed four friends once again.
Hey.
The faction is back together.
The click is back.
Oh, the click.
The Hardest Part of the Ring drifter has returned.
Ooh,
Sam.
I like that. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I like to think of myself as the Cody Rhodes of the pod.
Average.
Average and just been up
Sounds
to
about
Japan.
right.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Come on, Cody Rhodes.
Average in the ring. Yeah.
Have you bleached your hair?
I mean, that's a surprise for you guys.
Oh, you should bleach your hair. I reckon you look great bleach blonde.
Do you think? I'm a little bit tanned. I'm not sure it'd work. Maybe.
Oh, that's just cruel, John.
No, I think it'd be good.
I think
I used to have
Convince
frosted
him.
tips.
Oh, who didn't?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day when it was cool.
I never
In
did.
2014.
You never had frosted. You strike me as the guy that definitely would have frosted tips.
No, never. I've dyed my hair.
Earring?
I dyed my hair purple once for a Reading Festival, like 2001 or something.
I once sprayed spray paint in my hair thinking it was like kind of temporary hair dye. And had to wash my hair with white spirits. So there's that.
Good. How good it is to have you back. Hello, John.
Hey, oh, I've always been here.
Yeah, you have, and hello, Brett.
Hello.
Hello. It feels good. We've had a bit of a gap, and we've also had a 6-week gap between pay-per-views. So
It feels like it's been a very long time.
yeah,
It does.
it really does.
There's been a lot that's gone on. I mean, probably the
Yeah.
biggest news: Baron Corbin's got a haircut.
Wait.
Wow.
It's all
About
good
time.
news.
But now he's the constable.
Yeah, Constable Corbin.
which
I
is
think
just
Brett agrees
terrible.
with the first syllable of that new name.
I quite like the new look, though. I'm on board. I think get a belt on him. Let's do it.
Oh,
Time to strap a rocket to him.
Big cool.
We'll see. Sam, you've been in
Yeah.
Japan.
I've been in Japan.
I suppose you just did boring touristy stuff, right? Nothing interesting that we'd want to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, nothing too important. Did see a little match.
Yeah.
A little Okada versus Omega.
You shithead.
Yeah, some of the
you
things
were at
Meltzer
Dominion.
was saying about that match were very good.
The match was incredible. I honestly don't know where I'm ever going to see a better wrestling match, to be honest.
Definitely
But,
not live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
the
that
whole
it then,
event,
Sam? You give up? We
Yeah.
all give up now.
I feel like
Retire.
that's kind of... I don't know if I'm ever going to see anything better, but thankfully we don't watch WWE for its good quality matches, so...
What was
There's
it?
that.
What was it like with the crowd? 'Cause obviously, Japanese crowds are a bit
Right.
weird.
So they are a bit weird, right? It's just very quiet, but it's like a very kind of quiet rumbling all the way up until it starts reaching a point of like, kind of, you know,
Where all
when
the
it
women
gets good.
start screaming for Kenny.
Oh, that's quite constant actually. So
That's amazing.
I'm not going to lie. I think I was one of those women screaming Kenny. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So the thing with the Kenny Omega versus Okada is, that, as been kind of previously documented, it was an amazing match, really good, worth watching. What was super interesting was Naito versus Jericho,
Yeah.
because I don't think that was a very good match.
It was quite a brawl, wasn't it? Like Jericho, he dominated all of it, or it felt like.
Indeed. So it felt like, you know how Naito sometimes turns up and brings an amazing match and sometimes just sort of jobs about a little bit? It
Yeah.
very much felt like the latter with Naito this time. And it kind of was reflected in the crowd as well. So LIJ merchandise was easily the most worn and bought merch out of anything. Everyone had a LIJ hat. It was just, you know, people are obviously big fans. But throughout the match, it kind of the crowd sort of turned on Naito a little bit. It went from kind of people cheering for him to basically everyone just cheering for Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho had a lot of fans. You could hear that.
It was very interesting, that, because I certainly wouldn't have expected it. I certainly didn't expect the result either.
No.
So
I mean that whole event, the whole show was incredible. I haven't seen the main event yet. I've been holding it off because I want to sit down and enjoy it. But I've watched the rest of it. It's just so good.
Just a real masterclass in wrestling, to be honest. A really enjoyable event, and absolutely. The main event was just show-stealingly amazing. So
I've got a bit of a problem whereby it's almost too much of a good thing, and I've been spoiled. And I did find myself a few times during that match, sort of looking at the time and being like, "God, this is long." Yeah. And I know it's quality. I know it's quality throughout, but we have already had a number of long matches from those two. And it feels sort of, I'm a bit spoiled, and I shouldn't be complaining. But it's the first one where I've found myself clock watching a little bit.
Adam, did you watch the final of the Super Juniors?
No.
Oh, go check that out. I think you'll love that match.
Well, was that very long? Or was it?
No, it's quite short, but it was just brutal. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Okay. I will.
Cool.
And just quickly, Sam, were you telling everybody you met about the podcast?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. I'm going to check the stats. I'm going to check the stats, see how many new listeners we have in Japan after this.
We don't have to.
This podcast will be our Money in the Bank review, of course. But firstly, I thought we could have a very brief chat about NXT. Now, obviously, with so much going on at the moment, WWE and New Japan, and obviously the World Cup. Sam and John, you guys haven't seen Takeover yet, is that right?
Nope.
Not yet.
Okay, so we're not going to spoil it.
Nope.
Suffice to say, it was just incredible again. But you guys knew that was going to be the case anyway. I just really wanted to quickly mention the first match, which was Undisputed Era versus Lorcan and Birch. And, oh my God, Brett.
Yeah, it was so good.
I'm a big fan of Only Lorcan. I think
I'm coming around to Danny Birch.
Yeah, me too. I think, but Lorcan I've sort of had a bit of a soft spot for just because of the pace that he goes at matches.
Yeah.
That's I already sort of was a fan there, but like he does seem to be improving, or
he's
we're
a beast.
seeing more from him anyway.
Yeah.
And Danny Birch, initially I think it was perhaps because just like where he was booked in matches where he didn't really get to show what he's capable, because I don't know much about him before the UK tournament, in all honesty, but seeing him paired up with Lorcan, and they're just going great.
Yeah.
And that match was unbelievable.
I wondered if they were a bit of an afterthought, and that the plan was to have Moustache Mountain in this spot, because obviously they were going to be in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Invitational thing.
Yeah.
And then they got injured, and then it seems like Lorcan and Birch have been teaming up with Pete Dunne a little bit. But then obviously, there's been some developments with WWE UK stuff, and it looks like Moustache Mountain may just be based over here now. So who knows if it was planned or not, but Lorcan and Birch got an amazing reaction from the crowd, and I think they proved a lot of people wrong. And great match.
Tell you what, good for them. I think it's pretty difficult to get just two generic white bald guys over.
So. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they totally like have gone for the Shibata look. So they've got like the black, boots and kick pads, the black trunks with the national flag on, and that's it. And it just totally works.
The double Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that match was great, and everything else was great. We won't go into it, but it's going to be good. So I'm kind of jealous that you're going to get to sit down and watch that fresh.
Yes.
Obviously, we've also had the WWE UK tournament shows at the Royal Albert Hall, which is all very exciting. I've been desperately avoiding Twitter, trying to not see spoilers. It's really difficult. I've already
Have those aired yet?
Yeah, it was on.
No, they happened. They're airing in 5 days' time, isn't it?
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, really? I thought they were live on the network.
No, I think that was the thing. They're not live. They're airing the 25th and 26th.
Okay.
That is harsh, considering spoilers are all over the place.
Yeah, totally. That's why I gave up in trying to avoid spoilers for that, because
I was avoiding it.
See it.
I was avoiding it so much. I didn't even know it wasn't on live. Okay.
So if you're listening, tweet in and tweet spoilers. It'll be funny.
Do not tweet, because I'm the one that watches the Twitter, and I'm the one that hates spoilers most. So it's annoying. Anyway, but the plan is for us to watch that whenever it comes out, and do a little review of those two nights next week, assuming it's on the network before then, which I think it will be. Apart from that, just a quick mention that I saw on Money in the Bank that they've announced a Super Showdown show in Australia. So another big show for us to review at
Taker
some
and
point.
Triple H are going to headline it, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
no. Do we have to?
Yeah, it's going to be weird that Triple H is going to be the fastest person in that ring.
Oh my God. The Kingdom of Australia presents.
So we have that to look forward to too. There's also been some other news that will come up as we review Money in the Bank. So should we do that now?
Money in the Bank.
Let's go.
Back suplex on the apron from Kenny Omega.
Literally on the edge of the apron as Omega looks under the ring for God knows what.
Money in the Bank 2018 at the All-State Arena, Chicago, Illinois. Whenever I hear Illinois, it always makes me think of Wayne's World. Anyone else?
No. Why? Is that
Because
reference?
that was set in Aurora, Illinois, and Wayne talks about it quite a lot. Anyway, niche.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You did. Whoa.
Wow.
Sam, it is a classic. It's probably, I don't know if it'll age well. Who knows?
No, it won't.
How come you've seen it, Adam, and Sam hasn't?
Because Sam's like 4 years younger than me, isn't he?
Yeah,
Or
but you don't see
4?
films.
8?
5. 8?
How old are you? It's okay. We don't need to discuss this now.
Yeah. Good. I don't want to reveal to the listeners that I'm in my 50s. It's embarrassing.
Eight is harsh. 8 is very harsh.
So yeah, as I said, we've had a 6-week gap in between pay-per-views. Not much pressure on this pay-per-view after Dominion, as we said, and Takeover. Not much to live up to. Money in the Bank, of course, we as a podcast have a current holder of the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. That is Sam. Sam won the first ever Hardest Part of the Ring quiz, and we've got the summer quiz coming up in a couple of weeks.
Is it really a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Shit.
John is hosting that one, and as you can tell, he's extremely prepared.
Have you got a prize together, John?
Shit.
John hasn't done anything.
Excellent.
Can't believe this.
This is why you don't win, John.
God's sake. Okay, anyway, back to the real life Money in the Bank. It was a long one. As we discussed a couple of weeks ago, Wayne's World? God. WWE now means Wayne's World to me. WWE have decided that all pay-per-views moving forward are going to be around the 4-hour work, which is not great news for us. I think this one was about 3.5, wasn't it? Nearly 4.
No, it's over 4.
Yeah.
It's 4 hours, 15 minutes, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You can tell that I didn't watch it on the network. I had to watch it on some dodgy websites which didn't reveal the correct time.
Wait,
But
what? Why?
well, because I watched it on one of those sites where it was split into 6 or something.
Yeah, but you have a
yeah.
network login. I don't understand.
Okay.
We'll go into this another time.
Full disclosure, I have your network login, and when I logged in, I could see that you were already halfway through it, so I didn't want to start watching it and then for you to then start watching it again and to have lost your place. I was being really nice.
Oh, that's nice of you, because when I logged in, it was already halfway through, so I had the women's match spoiled for me, whoever stopped on that one.
Guys, I can literally hear the lawsuit from WWE landing on our doorsteps right now.
Yeah, this.
I mean, we all have our own logins as well. We love to share.
We can only remember the password for Sam's, that's the problem.
Gold Dust
Something
is
like
great.
So, basically, to avoid us having to do massive review podcasts, even though I'm sure you listeners would be desperate to listen to a 2-hour-long Hardest Part of the Ring, we've decided to switch up the format a little bit. We're not going to go match by match. We're going to do sort of focus on the big matches, the matches that actually sort of matter and mean something, and then we'll go through the more inconsequential matches briefly after that.
So, half an hour on Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
We could
What a
easily
match.
do that. There's so much to talk about that.
Yeah, if you want to spend the whole pod moaning, we could easily do that. So first off then, a quick rundown of the card, because as I said, we can't talk about everything, so let's just quickly say what there was. We had a pre-show of Bludgeon Brothers versus Gallows and Anderson for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. There were 10 matches, by the way, including
I
this.
know. Yeah, including the pre-show, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, hold on. Do we actually count Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss as a match?
No.
No, if we did, it would be 11.
Oh, okay.
So after the pre-show, we had Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. A quick word on Big Cass in a minute. Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. Elias versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. The women's Money in the Bank match. Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns, Asuka versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Nakamura versus AJ for the WWE Championship, Ronda versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship, and finally the Men's Money in the Bank match. So a lot of matches.
A lot of matches.
It's a good event, though. I really enjoyed this pay-per-view as a whole.
I think this was better than it had any right to be.
Yeah.
They're very good at putting these big multi-man, multi-woman matches together. So any card that has quite a lot of those on, it's always going to be a lot of fun.
I thought exactly the same thing. It's WWE's speciality, I think.
Yeah, definitely. They do it better than anyone else, actually.
Yeah, really good. As I said, quick word on Big Cass. I don't think we're going to talk about that match for long. So we obviously found out very recently that he has been released by WWE. Bit of a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah. I guess it's because he beat up that midget.
Yeah.
Who can? That's an amazing one to take to the job centre, isn't it?
Reason for losing your last job?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big loss, is it?
Well, it's literally a 7-foot
physically a big loss, but
yeah.
I thought he was quite good in this match. As a
I
heel,
did not enjoy it.
he was getting proper heel heat, you know?
I agree.
It's not easy.
Now, there were rumours online that it was a number of small things. So basically, obviously, him going too far with the beatdown of the Dwarf a few weeks ago. But apparently he was doing quite a lot of heavy drinking on the European tour. Being
Really?
drunk out in public, which WWE don't like. And then there's also a story that they were on a bus going from city to city, and the toilet door was faulty, and he thought that people were pranking him and had locked him in, but it was just faulty, and he kicked down the door.
Oh.
Yeah, so
A lot of stuff happens on buses with WWE, doesn't it?
I would love to see a pay-per-view just based on a bus.
Yeah, it's a shame they do their road trip one and they don't do a bus one instead.
I'm sure Strowman will flip a bus at some point.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Big Cass and Enzo team up on the indie scene?
Almost definitely.
God.
Is
I
that
don't know.
that's
Who will
soured on
book 'em?
everyone now?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like I think they came up to the main roster like 2 years ago.
I can't think of
it's
it.
mad.
The world
a
was
bigger
their
fall
oyster.
of grace.
No.
I was so close to buying a Enzo and Cass t-shirt. You've got one, haven't you, Sam?
I do have an Enzo and Cass t-shirt, and it's great for decorating.
Yeah, I
I don't know.
nearly bought
I can
one.
now kind of wear it out knowing that Enzo has been cleared of all his accusations and Cass has been cleared of his job. I feel like it's a hipster collector piece now.
Yeah, I suppose. I do find it weird that WWE can let people go instantly, but if someone wants to leave WWE, they have to see out their contract.
Poor
That doesn't
Daniel Bryan.
Does it seem
Yeah. No.
fair?
Yeah. Where
Neville.
is Neville?
I was going to
Free
say,
Neville.
I feel like Daniel Bryan was kind of phoning it in on this match.
It does just feel like he's like an old band have got back together and they're doing their reunion tour, and he's just doing all the greatest hits.
Yeah, I kind of feel like since he's come back, he hasn't really been given an opportunity to really have great matches,
No.
and it just feels like he's kind of just going through the motions at the moment.
No, I don't know. You kind of need to build him up a bit. You can't just whack him straight back in the title picture, can you?
Yeah, and he was against Big Cass.
Yeah.
Good points, well made.
I think, he's this feud has obviously ended. So be interested to see what they do with him next. Whether it will be The Miz for SummerSlam or whether they're holding that back a bit. I mean, I'd love to see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, Samoa Joe, Jinder Mahal.
AJ, anyone.
I mean, AJ would be great.
Yeah. Well,
But back to Cass quickly, because before it was announced that he'd been released, I'd set up a little quiz, a little opportunity to win podcast points. Okay, so Kane. Oh fuck! I've just said Kane.
Well, he's always the answer.
No,
Is
he
this
is-
Jeopardy? We could go guess the
No,
question.
basically, I'm going to go through. Well, I want you to guess the tallest wrestlers in WWE history. Okay, you need to get any of
Oh
his
no,
top three.
guys!
What?
Adam, the magazine you gave me for my birthday had a 2-page pullout of the tallest wrestlers in WWE history.
Well, you can win points immediately. Then do it.
Okay,
Or-
Great
or-
Khali, Giant Gonzalez.
I could have said that.
Yeah, same. Because Great Khali's not in the top three.
Oh, according
Really?
to Kids WWE magazine, he is. Giant Gonzalez, number 1, I reckon.
Yeah, he must be.
Yeah, Giant Gonzalez, 8 foot tall.
Looks a little bit like Luis Suarez.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not really.
No?
But yeah, there's two more in the top three. Any guesses?
Big Show.
Tallest.
Andre
Big
the
Show
Giant.
is joint 5th with Kane and Big Cass. They're all 7 foot.
Diesel.
Andre the Giant is 2nd, 7'4", so that's 2 points for Sam. Great Khali is 4th, 7'1". The
Big
third
Cass.
one, no, he's 7 foot. You should know that by now, for God's sake.
You can't teach
the-
me that.
The third one is somebody I'd never heard of, so I might just tell you it's Giant Silver.
Giant Silver.
No, I don't know him.
No, 7'2", apparently.
I'm gonna have to Google him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam, 2 points for you.
Whoop, whoop.
What a comeback!
Fantastic.
Back to the pay-per-view then. What we're going to do is talk about what we think are the 4 biggest matches. So we're going to do the women's Money in the Bank match, AJ versus Nakamura, Rousey versus Jax, and then the men's Money in the Bank match. Then we're going to have a quick talk about the best of the rest, quick talk about the worst of the rest, and then we're all going to nominate a star performer from the night, and that will be that. So, women's Money in the Bank match. What was this? Sort of the fifth match on the card.
Yeah, 4th.
Yeah.
Excited about this one? I mean, any Money in the Bank match has the potential to be amazing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They're always
Good
fun.
match.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I was shocked that Naomi managed to be in a fairly high stakes match and there was not a single botch.
No.
No, and
true.
there were moments that she could have as well.
Yeah, and that's amazing.
I should say who was in the match, of course. We had Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks and Natalya from Raw, and Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Naomi and Lana from SmackDown Live.
This was my favourite match of the night.
Really?
Your favourite? It was my favourite at this point. I thought, when I was watching this pay-per-view, I thought that when the women's matches came on, they suddenly elevated the show because it hadn't been great before then.
I'd go as far to say that I preferred this to the men's Money in the Bank match, but it wasn't my favourite match of the night. I thought it had a really bright start.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone except Lana getting involved.
Although I thought she did pretty well. I thought she looked pretty good.
I think in these massive matches, though, it's kind of a little bit easier to not look too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
She-
you can hide her a
'cause
bit, I
she-
guess.
Yeah, she did. She only appeared at a few moments. She wasn't like in the action often.
No.
I think Becky Lynch can feel a bit hard done by.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, she came so close last year as well, didn't she?
And it seems like the crowd are really behind her at the moment. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
but
really
she's
feels like it's her time.
totally treading water.
It's one of those things where she just remains popular. So WWE
Yeah.
probably think, well, she doesn't really need a push. It's
Well,
strange.
I don't think Alexa Bliss needed
It's
the
not
push,
how it
but,
works, though, is it? Really?
No.
I mean, overall, a really good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I love
was.
the
There were
sort
lots
of-
of nice moments.
Yeah, the Becky Charlotte stare downs and slugfest was cool.
Yeah.
I thought Ember Moon looked great. Oh, she's
Yeah,
so good, Ember Moon. And
That
she looks great on the
springboard-
main roster as well.
Yeah, that springboard crossbody she did on Sasha Banks onto the ladder.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, in
Yeah.
slow mo, it looked so good.
That was cool.
I was expecting Ember Moon to go for an eclipse off a ladder.
Oh no, she injures
Next year.
people with that, doesn't she?
I like the spot, talking about Naomi managing not to botch, the spot where she jumped up on the ladder when Charlotte and Becky were
Yeah.
holding it and then
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
springboarded off it onto Natalya. That was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shades of Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
That was a nice sequence.
And then
Also,
obviously-
did you see Alexa Bliss do the Code Red?
Yes,
Code Red.
on Charlotte.
That was really
looked
great counter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
See, this match just has so many fun bits. It was all
It did.
action. Sasha Banks was bumping like a boss, as she always does.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
she took so many nasty bumps in this match.
bumping like the boss.
Yeah,
I thought
Good
it was
on
really
her,
great
but-
when her and Charlotte had a little bit of a stare down, just sort of harking back to
Yeah.
Yes.
their
Remembering
amazing
their
feud.
Hell in
Yeah,
a Cell
'cause
match. So good.
there hasn't been anything that good since, has
No.
there, for the women's? Like they took it, they really ratcheted it up a notch, and I don't think there's been any standout matches that you could compare to them yet.
No, I think they had one of the best matches of that year, if not the best match of that year.
You could say that Charlotte Asuka got close, but they didn't really have any build, did they? Because they were
Yeah.
all
No.
separate divisions. So, but that
Yeah.
match was obviously good. But yeah, so Alexa Bliss won it. I mean, she didn't really do an awful lot. It even got to a stage where I thought near the start, is she carrying an injury? Because she's not really doing much at all. But obviously she got more involved later on and was involved on Raw as well.
That was the Miz type win, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, was it you who said a while ago that Alexa Bliss has one of the nastiest punches in wrestling?
Yeah, it looks really awesome.
Yeah.
It does.
The one she did in this match was proper break your teeth out style. It's brutal. I wouldn't want to get on her bad side.
It just looks so good as well because obviously she's so small.
Yeah.
Like when she throws it and sort of connects, it just looks. I just think it looks
It's
great.
the sound. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah, I was going to
piercing.
say, I think when they get that thigh slap perfect, she always gets a great sound with those
There's
punches.
no
so
thigh
it's-
slap there, Brett.
Oh,
Damn it,
come
Brett.
on,
Stop trying to
guys.
convince us wrestling is fake.
There's no thigh slap. Every time I try and look for it, I can
Yeah,
never see
me
it.
too. I'm pretty sure you're part of the conspiracy, Brett, trying to convince us it's fake.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying though is like the sounds of that. It's when they do super kicks as well and everything. When they get that sound perfect, it sells the move massively.
Oh, it really does.
Like
And so much
when
so
they
you
don't,
notice when they don't do it.
yeah,
It
exactly.
just looks stupid sometimes.
Or like they don't get the right sounds. Like when they do a chop, and you don't get that real sort of echoey slap. Then you
I
sort of
thought
like,
you were going to give
it's
us an
good,
actual
but
sound
not.
effect there. I thought you were going to.
Sorry.
When they do the chop and it's like a. Ow.
Oh my
A
god!
lot.
Did you just hit your microphone?
I hit my arm and now I regret it.
Yeah, that made a great noise.
Yeah,
for
see,
us.
that's why I didn't do it because I didn't have anything to chop.
You could have just
cut that
called
back in.
Lucy in. Get her there.
I might just chop myself.
Oh, nice. Good one.
Yeah,
Did that
was
sound good?
That did
not
sound
bad.
good.
Did you sell it?
Did you slap your thigh?
Yeah, sorry. I just had to get up off the ground. I'm so good at chopping.
Cool. Welcome to Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where you can have some ASMR of people slapping themselves.
That is a bit weird, actually. Listeners, I only tapped my arm, okay? Don't worry. Yes, so we should get back. What happened? Bliss. She won. Well done,
won.
Alexa Bliss. And
She
obviously
done really good.
she featured
Becky
again
Lynch's
later.
face plant for Bliss's win looks really nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time they go to drag someone off the ladder by the feet, I'm always expecting someone like to smack their face,
Smash their face.
on the rungs below, sort of thing. I'm always like nervous at that point. I'm like, please just like jump away, or don't knock your teeth out.
A good ladder match is a ladder match that everyone can walk away from.
Yes,
Yeah.
we don't want to see a Cesaro,
Oh,
Yes,
Oh,
we
no.
do.
incident.
Yes, we
again.
do. Yes, we do.
Yes, some of us.
But anyway, yeah. So all in all, a really good match, and I think they all did themselves proud. I mean, we were going to do AJ versus Nakamura now and sort of do it chronologically, but it probably makes sense actually. Should we do the men's Money in the Bank match?
I was going to say,
Whilst
should we
we're-
not do Rousey Jax next?
Yeah, Rousey Jax
Yeah.
probably makes sense.
Okay, let's do Rousey Jax now. Alexa Bliss won the Money in the Bank contract, and did she get involved? We'll find out in a second. The Royal Women's Championship match was Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax. I was really excited about this one, purely because of Ronda. I'm not into Nia Jax really. I think her promos have been dreadful these last few weeks, but surely you guys feel the same way about.
I'm
Just excited to see Ronda in the ring again.
going to throw
after
out there, I think this was
WrestleMania.
Nia Jax's best match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
I'll go with that.
I agree.
I think this was a
I'm
really,
just-
really good match.
I was like you say, I was because she doesn't really have, or she hasn't had any matches on Raw, and I'm wondering if it's just going to become pay-per-view Rousey because of the suspension,
Yeah.
in air quotes. So therefore, is she never going to actually have any matches on Raw, and she's just going to have pay-per-view matches each time?
I think that-
I'm okay with that.
But
I think
dunno.
she will. I think they're just really.
I hope she does, because I want to
doing it slowly.
invest in, I think she's shown great in these two matches, but because it was, she is still quite green, and it's versus Nia Jax, who isn't, she's good, but she's not like of the quality of some of the others, and it being a championship match, I was a bit worried that it wasn't going to be much to watch.
Yeah.
But it was really good, and Ronda Rousey is just taken to it like water,
She was amazing in this match. Like
Yeah.
her selling was off the chart. There's a
I
bit
was
where
so impressed with that. So impressed.
Nia did like a sit-down powerbomb.
That was
Rousey
incredible.
took it like a
Yeah.
boss, and then sort of got up
it looked
and stumbled through the ropes. And it looked awesome. It was incredible.
Don't you kind of... I'm on the side that she fell through the ropes by accident.
I mean, if she did it by accident or whatever, it worked really well.
Yeah.
It looked so authentic, and that's kind of really cool to see. I
think that was a botch. Because there was some laughter in the crowd when that happened.
I tell you what, if your biggest botch is when you're meant to be hurt and you're falling over and stumbling, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's funny that you guys didn't necessarily think that, because I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. She's fallen through the ropes. I feel really sorry for her, but she's just botched.
I thought it was legit. So
I didn't.
I thought it was
didn't
just
see a botch.
doing the part. I thought she was. They did a classic big person versus little person match, and
we need the listeners to get in touch and tell us what they thought. Was it a botch, or did she do it on purpose? If she did it on purpose, then
that should be a segment for Hardest Part of the Ring.
What was it a botch?
Was it a botch? We could talk about like our previous episodes.
A whole previous episodes. Was our last episode a 1 hour botch?
This one might be.
But yeah, I think, like I was saying, I wasn't looking forward to this with Nia Jax, but I totally agree that this was her best match, and she looked really good.
Yeah,
really good.
I think obviously we said Rousey sells really great, but she took so many bumps and really played like this, the scale thing between these two in the early rounds, rather than because of her name and her going in and doing well. It was definitely an uphill battle for her, which was really good.
So when this match began, I actually expected it to be a bit of a squash. I thought it was just going to be Ronda goes in, puts Nia in the armbar, jobs are good, and really didn't expect the match to go the way it did. It's funny actually. So on the previous pod, we actually said that kind of we didn't know how this match was going to go, and with retrospect, it being Money in the Bank, it actually was quite an obvious outcome with Alexa coming out and
and it was the right outcome as well, though, wasn't it? Because
absolutely,
definitely.
You don't want Ronda winning a championship yet,
no,
because that's just ridiculous, and you don't want Nia to
beating her off.
Well, you don't want that, but also you don't want Nia to lose the championship in such a short reign as well. I think she needs to hold it, or she needed to hold it for a bit longer. I know she doesn't now, but to lose it that way rather than legitimately in a fight didn't do her damage either.
I think this was one of my favourite cash-ins I've ever seen.
It was really good. The crowd loved it as well.
I like how much time Alexa took with it as well. It wasn't like a kind of just come in, beat her down, and that was it. It was a proper meticulous kind of beat up Ronda, beat down Naomi, beat down Nia, and then kind of even having like Nia on her feet ready to fight was like, it's kind of unusual. So
I enjoyed when the ring announcer said, Alexa Bliss is cashing in her Money in the Briefcase contract. That was a botch.
She stuck with it though.
Yeah.
I do think it's weird that obviously Nia Jax won the championship on this whole, she was a babyface on this anti-bullying thing, and then she lost it being a heel to the bully.
Bullying never bullying never learns?
Bullying does learn.
It doesn't sound.
Bullying never
does.
pays.
Does it?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Just to go back a little bit, how good were Ronda's, firstly, that knee?
That knee looked nasty.
I think it was partly the camera angle as well, because it was from low down and behind, but that looked amazing.
Good thigh slap on that knee.
Yeah, and then the judo throw, something different.
That was amazing. That was really cool to see.
And all the sort of, the slapping of the shoulders she does and getting in the mood, and obviously all the sparring and the punching, it looks legit because it is legit because she knows what she's doing.
None of that Shane O'Mac bullshit.
Yeah, honestly, it's so good, and I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah, me too.
Suspension.
I was worried when she came in, but she's been so good,
like a fish to water.
Yeah, but the suspension she got on Raw from attacking Kurt Angle, I'm on board with that as well, because it's kind of protecting her again a bit, because in a way she should just go straight into this feud.
So I haven't watched Raw for a while. She attacked Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Why?
She Alexa Bliss was having a little celebratory moment in the ring, and she was taunting Ronda.
Right.
and so Ronda came out and attacked, and I think Kurt Angle was just trying to break it up, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was like, no, come on, hold back a bit. And then Ronda
Yeah.
turned on him. And then she's suspended for 30 days. So, and
okay.
I've seen on Ronda's Instagram now, she's been showing, like posting pictures of her putting Alexa through the table and saying 29 days. So obviously it's going to be like a countdown. And then she'll come back at whatever pay-per-view's next.
Yeah.
Extreme
I think I just wanted to see perhaps, you know, her do a bit like what Asuka did, you know, go through the roster, like build up the confidence and the skills and stuff in the ring against, you know, opponent and just taking them down one by one.
She's too big a name to be wrestling Tamina, though, isn't she?
Well,
yes.
I mean, where have you gone?
I guess she is, but that would have also played into the whole, you know, earning the spot, which they keep trying to say, like, you know, like in the little promo they did where Nia challenged her to like the championship match, and it's like, oh no, that's too soon, and all this stuff, you know, they're trying to play to the I need to earn my place and my spot, but then we're not actually having that because she's a big name.
Time will tell. I think it's still very early days with Ronda.
Yeah, it is. She's doing really well, and I think she's going to be huge.
So far, the 2 matches we've seen, both very good.
Both very good. Yes. So next up, let's move on to
AJ.
What should we do? AJ versus Nakamura?
Let's do AJ versus Nak.
Let's do it. This was a last man standing match for the WWE Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Tom Phillips pointed out at the start that this was a last man standing match, and the first ever last man standing match was in 1999 with a match between Mankind and The Rock, which I think was a bit of a classic, right?
That was in an empty arena, wasn't it?
Was that the last man standing, or was that the
I thought
just
there was
a street fight?
I don't know. I thought they had a last man standing in an empty arena, which ended up with Mankind getting handcuffed and beating the shit out of a chair.
That does ring a bell.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll see. I thought that it was quite interesting that this was coming before the women's match, before Ronda and Jax. But now it kind of obviously makes sense with the cash in and things. There's a bit more drama there. And obviously they are going all in on Ronda, as we said. But yeah, what do you think? 31 minutes this went for. Did you enjoy it?
I loved this match.
It was all right.
Oh, I really loved it.
Contrasting opinions.
Yeah, I'm middle of the road on this one.
I thought it was Nakamura's best match on the main roster. I thought it was one of AJ's best.
I have to agree. I think it was amazing. I think the second half in particular was so good.
I thought it built really well.
Yeah, I think kind of it was a return to form for AJ, who I think's been kind of treading water for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was an absolute spot fest, basically, this match towards the end.
Definitely towards the end.
And I think
the end was very good.
That phenomenal forearm may be the best I've ever seen.
Oh,
he did the same spot against Cena when he was in that feud, I think.
It just looked so good. It was perfect, and the slow motion replay of him going through the air. I mean, he always looks good, but going down onto the table and the way that the table collapsed and the way that Nak took it and sold it, I just absolutely loved that.
I think my favourite part of this match actually was AJ kicking Shinsuke in the nuts. I thought that was really poetically done. He did.
Yeah.
Again, good sound on it. A pay-per-view of great sounds. But yeah, I thought that was a very it was a good chapter end to, a feud that was predicated on hitting each other in the nuts.
Yeah, that's it's a weird thing to base a feud on. But I thought this match was great. I thought it felt like a real fight, like a proper brawl. They were absolutely taking lumps out of each other. There's a bit quite early on where as well, like AJ selling, he sort of stumbles across the ring, which I love.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and he hit his head on the ropes.
Yeah.
God, I thought he was going to $1 million baby himself.
Oh God.
It was just for me, some of those moments, because that was quite early, wasn't it? Some of those things, and it was just a little bit like my turn, your turn, my turn, and that went on for a while for me, which is why I enjoyed the moments and the spots, but as a whole sort of thing, I found some of it a bit too, I don't know, generic, I guess, or the whole take turns aspect.
I tell you what, I was a little bit indifferent to this match, but the more I'm thinking back on it, the more I'm like, actually, you know what? Yeah, I did enjoy this. I thought it was really good.
I thought it was great. I really did.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I think maybe it got carried away with the second half was so good that I forgot the sort of slower start. But we had the AJ headbutting the table legs and then going through the table. Then we had the exposed turnbuckle stuff, and then the chair shots and the low blows, and AJ another masterclass of selling.
Yeah,
just
yes,
the best.
I loved it when Nakamura missed the low blow and the look on his face. That was brilliant.
Yeah, the facial expressions in this from Nakamura. So
and the Styles clash onto the floor. Come on, that was amazing.
That was amazing. The last 5-10 minutes of this match were fantastic. A real beatdown from AJ, just a proper lose your temper, beat him up with a chair, kind of.
Yeah.
The whole final 10 minutes was just really good.
This really did feel like a very New Japan sort of style match.
Very much throwing bombs at each other.
And at 31 minutes, I mean, you guys might disagree, but it didn't feel like that for me. It didn't feel that long. I think the second half just flew by, and it just, I really enjoyed it.
Disappointed didn't get the belt on Nakamura.
Yeah, that's a shame for him, I think, because I think it's going to be a while now before he has another credible opportunity.
What do you reckon is going to be next for him?
What
do you reckon?
I don't know what they're going to do next with Nakamura, but anyway, we'll have to wait and see. But I think we should probably move on now to the final of the proper reviewed matches, which is the men's Money in the Bank match, the main event. Another one that I was very excited about, because going off the past few years, this usually just goes off and is a very, very good match indeed. But I'd say that it wasn't as good. I mean, as I said before, it wasn't as good as the women's one, in my opinion, from this year, and not that many great spots compared to matches from previous years.
It was a passable match, but I think kind of the quality of the match that preceded it made it so much better. So,
it's a shame Ronda and Jackson headline.
I think that would have been
a great way to end it,
especially with the cash in. I think that would have been a strong ending.
Yeah.
Good for Braun though. He's having a good year.
Yes. Now this is the annoying thing. The only spoiler I saw, I went on Instagram and I saw Braun had posted a picture of him with the briefcase. So it was bittersweet because he's my guy. I sent him a little DM. He said thanks for the support, mate. I owe this to you. And I said no, don't worry about it. I'll give you a shout out on the pod. So that's what's happening now. Good one, Braun. Appreciate it. Adam, of course, in real life we're both called Adam, so we're bound to get on. But
both love guns.
So happy that this basically means he's taking Lesnar's title at some point, right?
Yeah. It means he's the top guy, or he will take the title off Seth when Seth hopefully beats Brock.
He'll take the title off Roman when Roman beats Brock eventually.
No,
it was like the millionth attempt. I was really hoping when Braun took the briefcase down, he would just he would just kind of crumple it up into a ball or something. That would have been quite cool.
I just had a flashback, Sam. I think when we started this podcast, we did a few practice ones before we officially did it, and we did Money in the Bank last year, didn't we? And I think you said suitcase in that, and we joked about how mental it would be if it was actually a suitcase, a huge suitcase.
Yeah,
it needed to be for Braun, didn't it? For scale.
I should mention who's in the match. I haven't done that yet. So we had Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Roode apparently was in this.
Was he?
From Raw. And then Samoa Joe, The Miz, Rusev, and Kofi Kingston was selected as the New Day member from SmackDown Live. Kofi making his 7th Money in the Bank appearance, joint with Kane. Joint with Kane now.
Is that joint highest?
Joint highest, yeah. So there you go. Aiden English. He's not good anymore, is he?
Oh God.
No, he does this weird spoken word rap thing.
Yeah. I don't like that.
I'm over it. I'm over him. I'm not over Rusev Day. I'm over him.
No.
I am over Rusev Day.
Oh, well, yeah, Rusev Day. I'm over. Rusev had a great showing in this match, though. I thought they put some nice time on him with a good sequence. Him going over on people. I was
Stack legs look great.
Yeah, and his kicks.
Oh,
like
there was one kick to Kofi.
I don't know what sort of kick you call that, but
big fucking kick, mate.
Yeah, it was a big kick in the head. It was great.
I quite liked in this match the alliance of Kevin Owens, Rusev, and Samoa Joe trying to take out Braun. and how that all fell apart.
Yeah, it was quite funny them chucking the ladders over him at the start.
I loved it when he emerged from those ladders like a horrible monster halfway through the match.
Solomon Grundy-esque.
Yeah, well, it really was. It was terrifying.
I also enjoyed the Miz taking the opportunity when everyone's piling ladders on.
Yes.
Strowman to get a ladder
Great
in the
heel
ring.
move that.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think anyone was going to get back in the ring fast enough. It seemed like...
Yeah, that would have been funny.
It's quite a short ramp, wasn't there, in this arena?
I think that was the confusion. Yes. It was a short ramp.
Yeah, I made a note of that quite early on. It was basically stage, then ring.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
They still had like the LED flooring, even though there was hardly any ramp.
It was so short, so short.
Brett, as our expert on how they fake the moves, how does Finn Balor fake jumping off a 20-foot ladder onto someone?
Oh, that looked so painful.
There's the stomp. Yeah,
the coup de grace.
To Bobby Roode.
Yeah, I don't know who I was more worried for, like Finn Balor's ankles or Bobby Roode for taking.
I was much more worried for his ankles.
Yeah.
Why his ankles?
Because I don't think I would have cared.
Landing
Bobby
on
Roode
a person. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I was going to say landing on a person from that height on your feet like that. You're not landing on even ground, so your ankles could just roll anyway, couldn't they?
I think his ankles are going to be fine. I'd be more worried about Bobby Roode.
Yes, definitely.
Well,
it's weird because you can see how
abs.
He goes about making it less painful with the whole sort of, loosening up the knees and leaning backwards
and falling
stuff.
back.
But, yeah, when you're coming from that height, how on earth?
I was going to say, I've fallen off a fair amount of skateboards doing like little jumps.
All right, Tony Hawk.
And that hurts.
Yeah. And what about also Kevin Owens dropping off that ladder? I know it was
biggest ladder I've ever seen.
I was like, there's no way anyone's going over that ladder, going off of the top.
Yeah.
No way.
I was really hoping Kevin would jump off it. He threatened to do it twice.
Yeah,
Didn't
he did.
Get it. Such a tease.
I was really hoping either him or The Miz were going to win the Money in the Bank.
I was hoping Kevin Owens would win it. I think that would have done him a world of good. I think he kind of needs it a bit more.
Yeah, my fantasy booking would have Kevin Owens with the Universal title and then Seth Rollins chasing it.
Oh,
that does sound good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
But,
that's why Johnny in the Bank is always going to be in our hearts.
But that's it. I think we've talked about all the big spots.
One more spot. Samoa Joe flying forearm to Braun Strowman through the ropes was awesome. So good.
It was
like a freight train.
It really was.
And the bonus of that is Braun is so good that Samoa can just hit him. He's like so massive that there's no worries about not hitting him square on with that.
True.
I was a little bit upset for Finn Balor when towards the end of the match when he climbed up the ladder and he was just decided to pad the case around like a cat, and it was just like, come on,
there's
just
always
get it down, buddy.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah,
so you kind of got to forgive that. And it also means that that whoever eventually grabs the case, it's always slightly anticlimactic, isn't it? Because it takes like 10 seconds. They've got to get out there, then they actually have to undo it, and it's like, yeah, we're ready to cheer. Yes,
it's the old cage match argument, isn't it? Where it's like, if you're in a cage match, why don't you just turn around and climb up and get out quickly?
Yeah,
but
let's not pick holes in it.
Yeah,
yeah. So there we go, Money in the Bank match. So that's the main 4 matches reviewed. Now we're going to keep it brief and talk about the best of the rest. I want to give a quick shout for Elias versus Rollins. I thought this was one of Elias's best performances after talking about Nia Jax earlier. And there was a particular sequence that he did where he was chucking Rollins into the post and into the steps.
Yeah.
And,
yes.
That bit was
the elbow.
That bit.
This was my favourite match of the night.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was a really good match.
Okay.
I was sort of in this match until Rollins hurt his knee.
And
then he couldn't walk on it, but then he could spring up to the top turnbuckle and do a superplex and a Falcon Arrow, but then suddenly he can't walk on it again.
Rollins and his knee is the longest running feud in WWE history.
I just want to be done with Rollins. Just your knee's great. Try something else.
Favourite moment of the night was Sami Zayn's entrance. He's becoming more and more Ministry of Funny Walks. It's fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
God, I think I skipped his entrance.
Oh, go back and watch it. It's worth it.
Yeah, when we move on to worst of the rest, we can talk more about that. John, any other highlights from you?
I mean, I'd like to say Carmella, actually. I thought her match with Asuka was her best match I've seen.
I'd agree with that, actually.
It was Carmella's best, and Asuka's just so good. That was one of my highlights as well. Just, she's so good.
Carmella is very good on the mic as well. I love her going up to the ring like screaming, "I beat Asuka, I beat Asuka," and it's like, man, you're really good at that.
She's a great.
She just knows her character. Yeah, she just knows it really well.
Yeah,
she's great. I think
the screaming after the 2 counts, the sequence.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about her moonwalk.
Oh, well, it's really good.
I think it's good.
Pretty smooth.
Okay.
Can you do better?
A little bit better.
Okay, we'll get a video up on our YouTube.
Okay, yeah, let's not go that far.
This feels like the perfect opportunity to mention the fact that the chinless wonder James Ellsworth has returned. I actually, obviously, it's ridiculous, but him. I loved it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a Money in the Bank without James Ellsworth.
Yeah, exactly.
In a women's match, apparently.
And there's no way Carmella's beating Asuka without that.
Oh yeah.
Imagine how delighted he must have been when he got the call to come back. he's just, he's done all his one-off special appearances on the indies, and now nobody's actually booking him for wrestling matches, and he's probably like, oh god. And now he's back.
Whoa. He had his special match against Gilbert.
Well, yeah, exactly. That says it all. Should we move on to worst of the rest?
Sure.
Just to go.
There's only one for this, isn't there? Come on.
Yeah, there's 2.
I think there's 2.
Yeah.
It's Lashley and Zayn.
It's Lashley, Zayn, or Jinder Roman for me.
Oh,
Jinder Roman.
Jinder Roman more for me.
Really, Lashley and Zayn was awful, and I felt we got the match the Build deserved.
But I think Sami Zayn's injured, isn't he? So I think that's why it was quite a short. Well, they're saying he's taking a break to heal from an injury.
He's got vertigo, hasn't he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Lashley Zayn is quite possibly one of the worst feuds. Well, it's definitely one of the worst feuds I've seen since I've been watching. It's
you,
horrendous.
My friend, have forgotten about Darren Young, Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might have seen the tail end of that.
Or even, do you remember the Alexa Bliss Bailey "This Is Your Life"?
Oh my god! Oh, that was bad. And then
that was only. I think that was this time last year. Yeah, that was awful.
That was bad.
But this was
really bad.
Basically, Bobby Lashley had 0 heat before this, and I think he has 0 heat now. And Zayn is amazing on the mic, but the material that he's had has been absolutely shameful, and the sister stuff, and then the match quality.
Is Sami Zayn the new Rusev? Does he deserve better?
Oh yeah, but we've been saying that since we started. He's so good, Sami Zayn. I don't understand why he's getting the shit he's getting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a shame.
And Bobby Lashley is just a vacuum.
He's so boring.
He is.
I hate his stupid headband as well.
I think he has that because he's got no eyebrows. It stopped the sweat going in his eyes.
I just want to pull it over his eyes.
Anyway, what's your guys' worst?
Jinder Roman. Brett?
Jinder Roman.
Yeah, Jinder Roman.
The boos and the chants. Let's take a second to talk about those. So we had boring chants almost immediately. We had NXT chants. We had Johnny Gargano chants. This is awful. Mexican waves.
This match sucks, I think.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I watched about 2 minutes of it and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna fast forward through this and just kind of pause at random points. I did that 5 times, and every single time I did it, it was just Jinder holding Roman in a chin lock.
Yeah, I mean, the idea behind this feud was, everyone hates Jinder. Like, surely that'd get Roman a bit more popularity. Like, they surely like Roman more than like Jinder. Nope.
This match was as exciting as X-Pac versus X-Pac, I guess.
But why don't they ever worry about, letting Roman, if they want him to build up, let him have some great matches against some better opponents. Like
AJ?
The whole heat against... Yeah, but maybe a few more now, because I think, we all thought Roman had improved on the mic and
he's good
in the ring.
He is good.
He's a good wrestler.
He is much better now.
He's a superstar, really. He is. He should be.
But he needs to stop doing the Superman punch. and have some good matches. Like let the wrestling, like it does in NXT, do the story, build that character up.
Yeah.
You know, but there's something like, not dissing all the matches, but I was thinking this, I don't know why, but why do they not have certain elements that they have in the main roster that they do have in NXT? Watching Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly, you know, like there's stuff that they've got the talent in the main roster, but they're not allowed to have those matches.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, because that will build some of these people up more. Like, let the actual wrestling be the point rather than some terribly shit storyline.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right, Brett. I think, yeah, there is loads of good talent, and there's no need for him to be doing these kind of feuds. It's obvious that it's not going to go down well with someone like Jinder.
I'm starting to feel very sorry for Roman. Like, he cut such a sad figure.
I feel like in any other era, he would have been absolutely huge.
He could be huge in this era. It's been awful booking.
I don't think he brings enough to the table, though, in comparison to the other wrestlers they've got from the indie scenes.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
maybe you're right, actually.
The talent is improving tenfold in the roster.
Anyway, that's it. Worst of the rest done. Star performer, very quickly. Should we all pick your MVP for the pay-per-view? Sam, who was yours?
I'm going to go for Elias.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
John?
It's got to be Alexa Bliss. Winning Money in the Bank and cashing in. Great performance.
She didn't do an awful lot, though. But okay, you do love her, so... Brett?
I'm going to go Ronda, just for that judo throw alone.
Yeah, she was
good choice.
Good choice.
Now, you'd think I'd pick Braun, but he's just been killing it for ages, and I'm quite blasé about it now. So I was going to go for Nia Jax or Ronda. As you've already gone for Ronda, I'll go for Nia, because it was her best match. And that sit-out powerbomb thing was just incredible.
A lot of competition in that one for best match. It was a good pay-per-view. Very good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it a lot.
I'd say a couple of really terrible matches, but some really good ones. So, yeah.
At least the terrible matches were short. Like, I don't mind terrible matches as long as they're short.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Other than the 15 minutes on Jinder.
Yeah. So that's the review done by us. Let us know what you think of the new format. If you think the old way of going through match by match works better, then let us know. I mean, obviously that would have led to a 3-hour podcast, but it's always good to get feedback. Brett will tell you a little later how to get in touch. But for now, we're going to do some listener comments after this.
Hey, you can only win inside, Bryan. Come on, go. Oh, wait a minute. No, Daniel Bryan's got Big Cass set up here on the apron. Hardest part of the ring. Oh man. My goodness. A point of the kneecap right into the apron there.
John, who's been in touch?
Carl Lockhurst has been in touch. He said, enjoyed the pay-per-view, although watched it in about 2 hours rather than the 4.
Nice.
Always love a Chicago crowd. Chicago crowd is always a bit boisterous.
The crowd really were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear any CM Punk chants, which is good.
No, I did. When Ellsworth was there, when he was dressed up, they were going CM Punk. I forgot that.
Oh,
yeah, that was a great moment.
Women's ladder match was better than expected, and pleased Bliss won. Was hoping that the Miz might win the Money in the Bank match and set up a match versus Daniel Bryan if he was to win the title. 3 stars.
Yeah,
I'd say it was better than that. 3 stars.
Yeah, I'd say 4.
I'd say I'm going to go with an
3.5.
A-. I'm going to go with a traditional grading system here. A-.
Okay, nice.
I agree with his 3 stars.
Yeah, sour grapes.
I mean a lot to him. Next.
Okay. We've also had MJ from Total Cult podcast. Was rude even in the main event ladder match, or did I imagine it? I don't remember him doing nout.
Agreed.
He was performing the role of doormat for Finn Balor.
Yeah, he took one hell of a bump, and that was about it.
Rude is another one. There's always going to be wrestlers like this caught in the mid-card doing absolutely nothing, but he is very much doing that now. I think he had a match on Raw with Kurt Hawkins. On Monday. So
just to big him back up.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, thanks for getting in touch, Carl and MJ. Sam, as you're back, have we got a little update on the hardest part of the ring champ?
Yeah, we've got a new champ.
Oh my God, let's do the jingle.
I'm the champ. The champ! That's why I'm the champ!
Okay, tell us.
Shinsuke Nakamura held the title for 28 days, defended it once, then lost it to Jeff Hardy on June 12th. So,
nice.
Jeff Hardy is our new hardest part of the ring champion.
Enigma.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Brother Nero. Hopefully he won't get suspended for smoking the reefer. And, we'll defend it many a time. So,
well done, Jeff.
Jeff Hardy's the champ.
That's cool.
Good for him.
Because I was always worried it was just going to go to the top and stay at the top. So it's quite nice that it's come back down.
Well, it is at the top of the Hardys.
Okay, fine. That was the hardest part of the ring champ update. That's our sort of.
That's the Hardys part of the ring champ.
Oh, mate, like what
Yeah,
you've done
see?
there.
Yeah.
Cool. Next.
Cool. Maybe we shouldn't have done the segment.
No, that was hilarious. Next podcast is going to be our UK tournament review next week, as we've said, and also very lucky listeners are going to get a little bonus podcast. Not entirely sure when, but I think it's going to be over the weekend, maybe Monday or Tuesday. We are going to have a chat with Josh from Riptide Wrestling once again. You may remember, I think it was episode 9, back in November last year. We met up with Josh, who's the promoter, producer for Riptide Wrestling down in Brighton. John and I went over to his and had a nice chat with him. And we're going to get him back on. Loads has been happening down in Brighton, and it's going to be good to talk about that and what they've got coming up soon. So look out for that podcast over the next few days. Brett, how do people get in touch?
Right, yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, we are hardestpartofthering@gmail.com on email, or we are at hardestpartpod on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And if you would like to buy some merch from us, we are hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Please revate the podcast. It's a brand new way of showing us that you love us. Rate, review, subscribe, and just a quick reminder that if you do leave us a review on iTunes and send us a screenshot, we will post you some Hardest Part of the Ring stickers. Bombardier, Brad Bush and Dastardly Duncan. I think they've both recently done that, so there's some stickers going to them. So yeah, get involved. That's it. Thanks very much. Welcome back, Sam. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Goodbye to you, Sam.
Oh,
Is that how we're signing off?
Goodbye. Yeah, that's how I'm signing
goodbye,
off.
John.
Goodbye. I'm not slapping myself though. I've got self-respect.
Okay, and goodbye, Brett.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Yay.
I've got no self-respect.
Yeah.
Sounds a good one.
That is incredible. That was the hardest part of the ring.
Very good.
That is the hardest part of that ring.